What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Ragin Ronin movie show. This is just a web series we're talking about movies that matter to me. Wow, it has been a while since I have done one of these episodes where I just talked about movies instead of just reviewing them. The last time I did a Ragin Ronin movie show episode was back last summer, where I was talking about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and also Solo, a Star Wars story. But that was all last summer. Besides that, I was just doing nothing but movie reviews and trailer reactions on this channel. But for 2019, I want to get more back into just talking about movies coming soon and just speculating about them and just generally talking about movies that matter to me. And one of those movies that matter to me is actually a movie that is going into production later this year, and that is the reboot for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's actually happening. I find it a little bit hard to believe, considering the last one, which was actually good but made very little money, just came out in 2016. Now they're jumping into production for a reboot in 2019. This was revealed when Platinum Dunes producer Andrew Form and Brad Fuller were being interviewed at the Critics' Choice Awards. And then they just dropped it. Okay, they dropped that information. And they said, okay, we're doing this movie, we're doing that movie, and we're getting into production for the reboot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And and then they were like, wait a minute, were we supposed to talk about that? I didn't know that we were actually allowed to mention that. So there you have it. It's actually happening. Now, when this information was actually released back in summer of 2018, I didn't think much about it. Like, I was a bit surprised that this was actually happening, but I kind of just let it slide. I didn't care very much about it, mainly because, you know, I guess it's in the early stages of development. I will care when it is actually happening. Now it's actually happening because the producers from Platinum Dunes mentioned it, and it's coming soon. I mean, we're talking about this year, 2019, where they're jumping into production, which could mean it would be for I think as early as a 2021 release, which would be the same release year for Transformers. Now, if you didn't already know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is not only a Platinum Dunes production, but it's also a Paramount Pictures production, which also means Michael Bay is still a part of it. Michael Bay was a producer for the 2014 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, which was actually a big hit financially. And also Out of the Shadows, which was a sequel, which came out 2 years later. Now, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first one, made $500 million. So therefore, they were, you know, that was a big enough success for them to want to make another one. The thing is that the first one was kind of like Transformers, whereas, you know, it made a lot of money, but the fans weren't really impressed with it. And then the second one, I'll kind of say it's kind of like Bumblebee, where they made a much better film, but it didn't make that much money. The thing is that, well, it's a bad comparison because Bumblebee is actually a financial success. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows made half the amount that the last film made, the one that came out in 2014. So they really didn't get they were hoping for a much bigger film. What they got was a better film, but not a more successful, a financially successful film. And that's where Reboot comes into play. Now, this is the part where I wonder if they're really jumping, you know, into this far too soon, because this is such coincidental timing. I know that they announced this last summer, but it's such coincidental timing that this is happening when Bumblebee is a success. Now I want to use this as another analogy for Bumblebee, because when you really think about it, what Travis and I did with Bumblebee is that he redesigned the way he gave us a new vision for Bumblebee, but at the for Transformers. But at the end of the day, it's still the Transformers that we know from before. It still has that DNA, as Lorenzo de Bonaventura likes to say. Now I'm wondering if they're applying that same method to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot, because it is still produced by Michael Bay, but I guess that they're going to be changing the look of the Turtles, because just like the Michael Bay designs, which a lot of people love, the Turtles are still a little bit too detailed, a little bit too realistic. Michael Bay wanted to go for realism for the Transformers, but he also wanted to go for realism with the Turtles. And we know how that turned out. They looked a little bit too real, a little bit scary looking. So it didn't quite really, you know, it didn't give us the look that a lot of fans were looking for. I think they're going to do what Travis Knight did, apply that same method, and that is simplify the designs. Make them look back more like the originals. So maybe I'm thinking that the Platinum Dunes crews just thinking to themselves, okay, maybe we could do that. Maybe we can apply that and use that same formula to Ninja Turtles because we have a great property, but we still haven't done it justice. So maybe, hopefully, they're going to give us justice with the reboot, something that's coming out a lot, much sooner than we anticipated. I usually think that reboots would take a little bit longer, but they're doing this really soon. And I'm thinking that this is quite a trend for them to just reboot things. I mean, when you look at if you look at a property from Sony Pictures, that would be Ghostbusters. They had the 2016 reboot, but recently they just dropped the teaser trailer for an actual Ghostbusters sequel to the originals. You know what I'm saying? And this is just happening 2 years after. This is just being announced after 2 years after the reboot. So you see what's going on here? I see a pattern. I see a trend. And like, it worked for Bumblebee, and it probably worked for Ghostbusters. I wonder if it'll work for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If they make a good movie and they give us some really good turtle designs and really bring it back to the source material, I think we could end up having a great movie. Let's hope it's actually a good movie. I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be released in 2021. They go into production later this year, so which means that I don't think they'll have it ready for next summer. Okay, and by next summer I mean summer of 2020. I think they're gonna have it ready for 2021. Anyways, what do you guys think about that? Do you think it's too soon? Do you think it's they should wait a little bit longer before they decide to jump into it? Do you even care about Ninja Turtles? I love Ninja Turtles. I grew up watching Ninja Turtles. It's one of my favorite cartoons, and I love the original film from Golden Harvest Productions, or Golden Harvest Pictures. So, like that, even though it's a man in suit kind of thing, it still was great. And I think to this date, it's still a great film. So, anyways, we shall see. We shall see how things go. But there won't be anything more to talk about until they jump into production later this year. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more episodes about movies coming soon. As always, if you enjoyed this and you want to see more, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.